Hello. Good morning from everyone from here in London. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Ali. I've only got a few minutes to speak, but I want to share some reflections with you all about some of the things I've seen in youth-led organizations, some of the experiences I've had from leading organizations, from being involved in the startup of charities, and various projects, and some of the mistakes that I see people make. And I welcome your thoughts. Friends, young people are very important because you have the opportunity to fashion a world which our parents didn't. Each generation has a responsibility to give to its children better than they themselves inherited. I think we've inherited a world of climate change, of fractured borders, of racism, of misogyny, of stereotypes from the left and from the right, which are dangerous. I think that we as young people, and I can just about call myself that because I've only got about 55 grey hairs, we have an opportunity because of our enthusiasm and our passion, but most importantly, our ability to envisage a world that's better than our own because we have the audacity to do so. We have the ability to change something. For me, there are three letters which are most important above all else for great leaders. Great leaders have the ability to engage, to have a vision, V, to engage, E, and then D for deliver. Vision, engage, deliver. I'll talk about each of those letters now. Vision. Great leaders, the best leaders, can see a world in their mind's eye that others can't. They just can't even imagine it. Whereas the greatest of leaders, whether they be Martin Luther King, whether they be anyone else, political, charitable, they can picture a world better for the environment in terms of warfare, in terms of politics, in terms of civil rights, in terms of democracy, better than they have got themselves. And they have an ability to articulate it. Quick story, 3 men are working on a property, stonework, stonemasons, sweating, heavy, hot day. A man walks past, he says, the first man, what are you doing? The man hits a hammer against the floor, shovels some gravel and says, I'm laying some bricks. Second man, again, sweat running down his face, it's a hot day, he's thirsty. The man who walks asks, what are you doing? The stonemason says, I'm building a wall. Third man, he asks him, what are you doing? He's smiling. He seems so much more enraptured by his experience. It's still a hot day. He's still working hard. He's still been working for a number of hours. The man looks at him. He's smiling. And he says, I'm building bricks to build a building that will become a mosque or a church that will glorify God for 1,000 years. That may only be a stonemason, but that stonemason had a vision. And that made his experience so much richer for it. Vision. So that's number one. In business, we talk about having a business plan or strategic vision. In the charitable world, it's entirely different. But it's the same values. Number two, engage. No one person can change the world on their own. But one person who engages with others can create a cycle, can create a ripple effect, can create a movement. That's what I love about citizens. And any great movement is just that. One great person engaging another great person to form two. A third person being engaged to form a group. A fourth person being engaged to form a party. A fifth person becomes a movement. And every single person you add to that becomes momentum. And if you think about the law of degrees of separation, every single person you influence will in turn influence 10 others. So great leaders are able to have a vision and then engage with others. And in today's world, that means engaging through, yes, rhetoric and speech, but also through social media, through using Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok to your advantage, YouTube. So they engage with others effectively to create a bedrock, a groundswell of actors. And number three, deliver. They go out and they talk the talk and they walk the walk. So it's not just highfalutin words. A lot of politicians, how frustrated are we at politicians who campaign brilliantly and say all the right things before they get elected, and then when they come into office, do very little. They don't deliver. Great leaders are not just visionaries, they must be doers as well, and using human, financial, technological resources to make their vision come to pass. And that involves courage, and that involves effectiveness, and that involves strategic thought, and so on. Most great organizations have all three of these things, and most organizations that fail will lack either vision, an engagement ability, or an ability to deliver. So when you go back to your spaces and you try and do some of the wonderful things you're doing, try and always come up with a plan that ensures you have each of these three bases covered. I haven't got a great deal of time, so I just want to mention one more thing. Whatever you do, friends, whatever you do, put social justice at the heart of it. Put those two words at the core, at the center of what you're doing. Social justice is a light which ripples in the darkness. I was thinking a lot about Rosa Parks, the young woman in America who decided on a segregated bus to sit on the 1st of December 1955 in a different place she wasn't allowed to because of her color. So that now, 65 years later, her act of social justice reverberates in the darkness. We think about her, we still commemorate her. Anyone who follows America knows her. People who adhere to social justice put their cause before themselves. They destroy their own ego to promote their objectives. Most organizations where someone which is contaminated with ego will always fail, because there'll always be a choice between promotion of themselves and promotion of their cause. People who love social justice cannot get enough information. People who love social justice are led by values. People who love who subscribe to something with social justice follow the truth wherever it takes them. And you find that those people are the ones who others will come to with ideas, who will come to them with propositions and will want to work with them. So friends, I haven't got much time. I just wanted to say a few words. I wanted to say that citizens, you guys are doing incredible work. There's a lot of reasons to be pessimistic about the world that waits for us tomorrow. Today, this session is a reason to be optimistic. So thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the day.